Welcome to Makeup with Meesh, the show where you get ready with me in the morning before I go to work. Now we beautify. So I'm using just my Roden & Fields moisturizer. I know every time I say that, I'm like, I'm gonna get attacked by the MLM police. I don't sell it if that helps, but I buy it. This stuff works. So I've tried other things. I took like a break from it for like 2 years. I tried Tula. I tried all like the things the beauty influencers are hawking. They just don't work as good, okay? So I'm back on my Roden & Fields shit. Now that I've moisturized, I'm gonna also use a little bit of Charlotte Tilbury's Magic Cream to help add some moisture to the face. I mean, once you hit 30, I'm currently in the market too for a clay mask or something to help reduce the appearance of pores. I know you can't like change pore size or whatever, and I feel like I just need something to like clean them out so it's not as noticeable. All right, so I am gonna continue using this primer that I've been using. This is the NYX, the Marshmallow Primer. This is their best-selling primer. It smells amazing. I went to Ulta, like not really intending to pick this up. I was picking up a couple of other things and I walked by it and I was like, oh, I'll try a primer. Because I felt like my makeup just wasn't holding lately. I was like, for like $8 or whatever it is, like, let's try it. I picked up this primer. The jury's out on how well it works because this is like day 3 that I've used it. However, God, it smells so good. I mean, it smells like marshmallow, I guess. So I remember like getting in my car leaving Ulta and I was like, did I get sprayed with a perfume or something? It's got like a really, really, really strong marshmallowy scent to it. But it's not distinctly marshmallow. Like you're not gonna be like, you smell like a marshmallow. It's got, I don't know, it's just like sweet, sugary scent, I guess, to it. All right, and now since we're putting on the primers, I'm gonna go ahead and toss on the Fenty Beauty by Rihanna Pro Filter Eye Primer. So basically this stuff just makes your eyeshadow stay in place. It's effectively glue, which you will find if you try to put eyeshadow on top of it without doing any kind of neutral eyeshadow to sort of, just make it to where you could like actually blend. Otherwise it's really, really difficult. So I'm using right now my NYX brow mascara. I am like a fangirl over this brow mascara. It's the only one I'll use. I have very light eyebrows. I dye them every couple of weeks, and even still, like they're dyed right now and they're still pretty light. In between dye jobs, I'll use this to help give them a little bit more color, and then I'll fill them in at the end because I let this dry while I do my makeup. But this is the best. It's not tacky. My problem with other mascaras that I found is they're all tacky and they stick kind of like the tubular mascaras do to your eyebrows, and then they pull your eyebrows out. My eyebrow girl, she was like, what's going on with your eyebrows? They're like disappearing. And we realized it was because I was using some Maybelline brow mascara when I first started using brow mascara. And then she was like, you got to use this. And I've tried others just to try them, and no. I'll stick with the Tom Ford foundation just because, why not? Yeah. I just ordered the NARS foundation, the new Light Reflection NARS foundation. TikTok's losing their shit over it. So I wanted to see what it was all about. I've heard wonderful things. It's more of like a less than full coverage. I tried the Charlotte Tilbury and I was not a fan. I mean, that felt like I was caking stuff on my face. Similarly to the Estee Lauder Double Wear. Those are just way, way, way too heavy for me. And I mean, I'm a former beauty queen. Like, come on. I don't shy away from makeup, but those were not my jam. Tom Ford foundation. I really like this. This is like mild coverage, so it doesn't feel super heavy. This kind of almost feels more like a skin tint in terms of consistency. However, it covers really, really well, like really well, and then it blends, it like melts into your skin. I don't know what they're doing back there mixing this stuff up, but it is good. This, by the way, is not breakouts. This is all where I scratched myself while trying to dermaplane my face, and I have nicks all over my face where I basically just like took a razor and shaved my face down, and as you can tell, it like I'm like Edward Scissorhands over here now. Okay, so hopefully that will continue to heal in the next few days and be gone, because it's impossible to cover, because it's not like acne. It's like, I mean, it's like scars. I just used this in the shade Mocha, and I know what you're thinking. Hey, blonde white girl, you are not the shade Mocha. I'm aware of that. I'm also not 0.5 porcelain. However, I got a like sample pack, similar to like this, you know, like one of these things that they give you with, this is Too Faced, but similar to that, like what they give you when you do the sample kits or whatever at Sephora. Well, it came in the mail, and I was like, okay, I'll branch out. I'd been using my Makeup Forever foundation, and I was like, all right, I'll branch out and try this. And they gave you a decent sample pack where you could try it for a couple of days, and they gave you a variety of colors, much like this one. And it sort of looked just like this, and I was like, oh, that's like the perfect like contour palette for me. And so I was like, what if I just put it on in the way of a contour? And that's what I've been doing. And I like it because even though I'm going to put more makeup and stuff on top of this, I feel like it gives like a really natural gradient to your skin. Like if you were just going to toss on translucent powder over this, it would look like really, really natural. Like that just kind of looks like I have like more of a natural cheekbone. And then the foundations blend together, and I just like it. I don't love doing all over same color foundation, because then you have to like really, really contour heavily on top of it. So just like a little contour hack that I've been using. So right here underneath the cheekbone highlight or contour, I'm using 4.0 Fawn. So I use 0.5 porcelain under my eye. Kind of treat that as like a concealer almost, like an under eye brightener concealer. Then I use the Mocha on all the, you know, the standard 3 contour areas. And underneath, to make the cheekbone pop more slightly, I use Fawn, which is a little bit darker than the porcelain, because I don't want it quite as light under here. But Fawn is actually probably like, if I was going to do an all over color, I would go with Fawn. That's the closest to my skin tone. So it just kind of helps blend in where that foundation was laid and make it look even more natural. So like if somebody walked up to me right now, I feel like they would probably just be like, oh, she's kind of got like some pretty sharp cheekbones, you know? Toss some translucent powder over it, you know, it would work. But she's not going to stop there. No, she's not. She is on a journey for a snatched jaw, so we're going to make that happen. All right, so I'm going to seal that. I've got like a tiny hair on me. I'm going to seal that porcelain under my eye with the Laura Mercier eye brightening powder. And I think this just helps like when my eyeshadow and stuff falls, it helps with like fall away, sweep it away. But I can even tell it just like, I don't know, it just kind of like flattened out, like in a good way, flattened out like this, and just kind of made it set. It kind of acts as like a translucent powder. I think there might be some light reflecting something in here. I don't really know how that technology works in a powder, but something like that, because it's supposed to eye brighten. But I mean, I can't say that I've noticed any huge difference in terms of eye brightening, as much as I just appreciate that it sets my powder under my eye. Translucent powder will do the same. All right, I just continue to use it because like I bought it, and it's like it's a tiny jar, but you only use a tiny bit of it every day. So, I mean, I think it's going to last me for like 6 years. This is just some under eye fallout powder. Okay, so I'm using the 35X Big Primpin' Morph. I thought it was Big Pimpin' for the longest time. I kind of wish it was Big Pimpin'. So right now what I'm doing is what I was alluding to earlier. When you put that primer on, like no matter what you use, I've used them all. Urban Decay. I just used the Pro Fenty Instant Filler by Rihanna this morning. When you put those on, it's like effectively like smearing glue on your eyelid. It holds, the whole point of it is to hold your eyeshadow in place and not make it crease throughout the day or rub off or, you know, melt off your face. And so when you put the first layer of eyeshadow on, it like really, really sticks to that. And it's really, really hard to blend any darker shades. So I always cover my full eyelid. Like I always do my highlight first and then toss on like a neutral shade, so that the pigments of the darker colors will blend into that and like grip that too. It makes it easier to blend. Like I've tried to do my eyeshadow with darker shades, and when I've forgotten to put on the neutral color underneath as a base, and it just doesn't blend as well. It looks like smeared lines. I'm actually gonna do something a little crazy today. I have always used just like cheap makeup brushes. I mean, these are still relatively cheap, but, oh God, I have to open these individually. I don't know if I'll be using these. These are still relatively cheap, but I've always just used e.l.f. makeup brushes. Like I just kind of get the $30 kit and I'm like, whatever, this works for me. But I've been watching a lot of makeup tutorials lately. It inspired me to like branch out on some of my brushes. I was like, there's gotta be a reason makeup artists use all these brushes, right? So I was like, let's experiment, but I didn't want to break the bank, and I wanted to see if just like even more of a known brand. I picked up, these are just the eye brushes. So this is a set of, how many is it? Okay, it's a 12-piece eye set, so it's got, oh, it's got the name. Maybe I'll finally call them what they're supposed to be called. But I was like, okay, I can try to do like a little bit more oomph in my makeup. So I was gonna start with eyes, and then I'll do a set of face brushes too, to see. So we'll use the Morph brushes today. So typically the e.l.f. brush that I use for eyeshadow is this one right here. So I need to find one that's like complementary. These two look the closest. I'm gonna say this one's probably the closest. All right, Jesus Christ, my dog is losing his shit. Okay, so let's see. Is it that much more impressive? Will my eyes be that much more beautiful today? All right, I'm gonna just mix up some browns. I'm probably not gonna go crazy on the colors today, just because if I am experimenting with, you know, like let's do one variable at a time that I'm bringing into this equation. Okay, here we go. There's either deer in our yard or somebody's attacking our house. I'm not sure. Not concerned either. All right. That actually blended really well. Maybe is that the trick with more expensive makeup brushes? And I say expensive. I mean, this was a set of 12 for like $29. That's not expensive. If you buy them individually, it's definitely more. I got like a little kit of the eye brushes. I'm sure the face brushes is probably like 30 bucks or so for, you know, like the 4 or 5 core face brushes. They didn't have those in stock, so I didn't pick those up, but I'm gonna order them to really see if they're that much better than the other ones. And because we're experimenting, so I used this brush for sort of like that kind of outside C angle. That looks to me like more of a blending brush. This is what I typically use for that. You know, I don't care. I'm just gonna do what I want, whatever. I don't know what the brushes are intended for. I'm just gonna do some eyeshadow. All right, so I'm gonna use that all over bigger one. All right, here we go. I think I'm really gonna have to use these for a minute to give feedback, honestly, because like you gotta like figure out how to hold it in your hand, how the bristles move. She's an artist. Use the Gold Entrance right here. Really entrance my coworkers in my gaze later today. Did you meet your goals? And we're gonna do a little bit of a smudge. I do like that one, that little flat guy. You're cute. Let's smudge you right on the edge of the line right here. Ooh, 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 I do like you. You are tight. I typically do more of like a, I mean, just like a smudge. Like, I mean, I guess this is technically a smudge, but when I mean just like more of a non-controlled one. I do gotta say though, this is the fallout that I usually experience right now is way more. So I'm wondering if better brushes help with that. So that was nicer than what I'm used to. This one right here looks pretty cute too. A little tight pencil situation. I'm gonna pull that guy in up here. That looks like a little too sharp for me. I'm just used to it blending better. Maybe I'll try this one. Yeah. All right, now I'm gonna toss in a little bit of eyeliner on top. This is the Makeup Mel in Genie, and it needs to be sharpened, of course. This is kind of like it's like a black-green mix with a little bit of gold flake in it. And I don't take my eyeliner across my full lid. I just kind of put it in the corners. So then I take the darkest shade in the palette that I'm using, or in the color scheme that I'm using, and put that shadow on top to kind of like seal it. But then I noticed that it picks it up darker in that area where I put the eyeshadow and the liner. And that helps, I don't know, just like draw the darker part up and out of the eye. Using it over here. Okay. That one looks better. That one was messed up. I'm gonna blend in the top of my eye right now, like feather that part in. I'm not going to say anything negative about the brushes yet because like I just don't know, like I need to play with them. I'm a little unhappy with my eye makeup right now. This is super dark and like it's just not blended out and brought up. Like I'm just not used to like different brushes, so I need to play with it. So I'll keep using them this week. Add them into the repertoire of brushes so that I can get more comfortable with them, and then I'll make a decision. But I mean, they felt nice. I'm having to do a lot more on my eyebrows right now than I usually have to do because they're in desperate need of being dyed. So when they're dyed, obviously more of the shape stands out, and I have to color in less. Like sometimes, usually the first week I dye them, I don't even have to use that brow mascara that I used earlier. But we are far from the first week. So we are building a brow. It's the adult equivalent of like Build-A-Bear workshops. Build a brow. Okay, now we'll take a little spoolie eyebrow guy. Where are you? Where are you? Cute. Oh, there's my angled brush. Ah, he was hiding on the other side of the spoolie. Okay. I used, to fill in my brows just now, I used the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyebrow pencil in medium. And this is her clear gel that I'm putting on top, which I have grown to love. I used to be like, that's stupid, the eyebrows, like where are your eyebrows gonna go during the day? Why do you need to seal them down? But I started using it because it came, honestly, because it came as a sample. And now I love it. It really does help like to define your brows. It just makes them look better. I don't know why, I don't know how it does it, but it works. All right, so we're gonna wipe that fallout powder away. I will say I have very little fallout powder right now, which is shocking. Usually it's like my whole face is black and brown and sparkly. So maybe better brushes hold the color, or if you just use the right shape when you're putting it in certain areas, less of it will fall down. I don't know. That's my hypothesis for right now, based on day one. Okay. All right. If I could use less fallout powder every day, that would be good. All right, now we're going to finish her up. All right. I'm using my Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour Palette. As you can tell by its appearance, it's been through the ringer. But it's my go-to. I've been on a hunt for like 2 years of a really solid contour palette, and this one takes the cake. I love this one because it has, like when you get done with, you can buy the initial compact filled out, but when you get done with any of them, these are magnetic and you can replace them. But she has like 11 or 12 different shades that you can pick from on both the highlight and contour. 2 of those shades are the green and purple like color offsetters too. So if you have a lot of redness You could use, dude, my dog. You could use the green to help offset that. And so I just really like that because like it came with a really, really peachy kind of contoury tone. And I was like, I need a white or something to help clean up under eye when I need to. And she had it. So I really, really like these. I've actually already replaced the entire top row once. But the bottom row is still going strong because I just like, the colors are so pigmented that I barely have to tap my brush into the color. Right there. There we go. And contours the nose just slightly. Yeah, so like I barely have to tap into the dark shades because they're so dark. Or it's just so pigmented, I should say. She has the darker shades than us, of course. All right, and now we're gonna buff that out. I use my Studio Fix powder by MAC to buff this out, but like I want to be very clear that like I just put a lot of powder on my face that is super full coverage and pigmented, and so I don't want to like cake it on anymore. So I like barely tap my large brush to do this. Like a lot of that blends on its own. It's kind of got that creamy, powdery, I mean it's powder, but it's kind of got like a cream feeling to it, like, or just it blends really well. It reminds me of like the Tarte Amazonian clay type of powder. It just blends really well. All right. Yeah, I'm really upset with how this eyeshadow is looking, but it is what it is. All right. And I'm gonna add a little bit of blush and highlighter. I'm using my Makeup Mel Cosmetics. Clearly I've gone to town on that highlighter. Blush and highlighter duo. I just like the pigment of these blushes a lot. Maybe a little too much on that side, huh? And the highlighter right on the top of the cheekbone on both sides. Bring that kind of into the apples of the cheek. I like to do a highlighter, well, on the nose, like kind of right on the tip, and on the lips, the upper lip. I don't put it really on my chin or anything, just where the sun would like naturally kind of hit if I was, you know, frolicking in the field during golden hour. All right, and then I take a completely dry brush and just blend all that in. Kind of wipe away any excess. Once again, this has no makeup on it. Brush away all that extra. And because my spray tan is wearing off and I am pasty white, I'm going to use a little bit of bronzer on the neck to blend down and kind of fill in all the little cracks of my cracking spray tan. All right. It just helps it look more like this makeup belongs on my face, you know? All right, we are wrapping up. I'm gonna blend that out with my fingers a little bit because that is stark and that's a lot for me. And if it's a lot for me, then it's a lot. Okay, it's time for some mascara. All right, we're gonna use the old trusty Maybelline Sky High Sensational Mascara. This went viral on TikTok, as I'm sure most of you know. I started using this like months ago and I love it. Since then, there's been like 3 other viral mascaras on TikTok. So I will try those at some point, but right now I just really like this one, and this is a relatively new tube, so we're going to use this for a while. I also have the Milk Kush mascara that's currently open. I'm weird about mascaras. Like, I just want to use the tube until it's gone, because like once you open it, you know, and it's exposed to air, like even if you don't use it, like it's going to dry out. It's not like a lip liner that you can let sit for a few months and then go back to it. I like to use my mascaras until they're run out. So I don't really experiment with mascaras like daily. I will definitely try them, but even if I, but I'm going to try it and use like the whole tube to try it. So I will probably at most only have 2 mascaras open at a time. But I just ordered the Ilia mascara because it was one of the ones that was like, this is the best mascara in the world. So I wanted to try that one. It's a clean beauty product at Sephora too. So when that one gets here and I wrap up these tubes, this one and then the makeup, not the milk, then I will. If you were here and watching, I'm sure you're not here anymore because it just, I have no idea. Like, I don't know how long I was talking without it. Well, that's super annoying. Well, YouTube, get it together. YouTube just cut our stream off without even telling us. Okay, well, welcome. This is a whole new stream, unintended, because our last stream where I did all of this just got cut off for no reason. And that's super annoying. But I guess I will wrap it up. I'm basically just going to put my hair up in a bun because I was going to put a treatment on it later. So I wasn't going to style it at all. But I will, like something like that maybe. Yeah. All right. I just got to get out my face today too. Might need some dry shampoo in there. Definitely need some dry shampoo in there. There's something living in there at this point. Okay. All right, this is the Amika Perk Up Dry Shampoo. And it smells amazing. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to tease this section back here. Oh, it's looking rough. Just to give me a little bit of height so I don't look like a colonial woman. Since I'm going to be doing a low pony. Pull that back. It's a little 60s vibe, kind of. And then we'll just do like a little low clip situation. God, I feel like I should be in like pigtails right now. Oh, maybe that looks very suburban mom. All right. I would, maybe I can just leave it down like that. Maybe pin it so it looks like I still have hair. The problem is that I cut my hair off because I had a bunch of platinum that was fried at the bottom and I'm trying to get rid of it. All right, we're just gonna have to do that. My hair's too short now to do anything but the style the girl cut it in. So it is what it is. That is not cute, I hate it, but I don't have a lot of choice right now because I'm going to put it in a hair treatment later today after my workout, and we'll have a fresh wash tomorrow and I'll actually style it, curl it, and make it cute. All right, I'm going to spray, my spray and my setting spray is kind of like not continuously misting, okay? I can tell you that. All right, spray the makeup so that it'll stay. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, something's going on. This is just, man, my week. Let that dry and set, and all right. I wonder if I could should I put it in like a bun so it looks like more purposeful, or like something, I don't know, I hate it just sticking out, but like that, like where at least it looks like I pinned it up. Maybe I'm gonna do that. I'm literally staying at home going nowhere, but I mean, even just the thought of somebody thinking that I'd purposefully did that to my hair and thought it was okay is So we're gonna toss some bobby pins in there and make it look like, oh, she was just running errands and threw her hair up in a little bun in the back. She's cute, yeah. she didn't make a horrible decision 2 years ago to dye her hair platinum and is still dealing with the consequences and the fallout of that. All right. Yeah, I feel better about that because at least it's like, oh, she was just running to Trader Joe's and tossed it. Okay. All right. This is it for today. Sorry that the stream got cut off in the middle. If you want to see how this look came together and where I started, then go check out the stream from this morning before now, the last stream on my page. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell if you want to get notified. I go live every morning before work. I get ready. So come join me. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.